What if the reason we can't solve quantum physics isn't that we're not smart enough? What if it's that the tool we're using to solve it, language, math, equations, is structurally incapable of representing the answer? What if the answer literally cannot be spoken? Here's something nobody talks about. Math is a language, English is a language, equations are a language, and every language does one thing at its core. It divides. Think about it. A word only means something because of what it isn't. Tree exists as a concept because it's not sky, not ground, not you. So every word is a border. Every sentence is a map drawn by cutting reality into pieces and labeling them. That's not a flaw. That's what language is. That's why it works. But here's the problem. What if the thing you're trying to describe has no borders? Quantum mechanics keeps producing results that make no sense inside our current framework. Particles that exist in multiple states simultaneously until observed. Don't get me started on that. Entanglement. Two particles separated by any distance instantly affecting each other. The observer effect. The act of measuring something changes what it does. Physicists have been trying to explain this for 100 years inside the language of classical and relativistic physics, and it doesn't fully work. There's always a remainder, always something left over that the math gestures at, but can't quite land. So what if the remainder is oneness? What if quantum what if quantum is keep bumping? What if quantum keeps bumping into something that is fundamentally undivided? And every time we reach for math or language to capture it, we divide it and we lose it and we're back to square one. This is the question that stopped me cold. How do you represent non-duality with duality? Because language is duality. Every word splits the world, subject and object, this and that, observer and observed. And if the answer to quantum lives in oneness, in a state where observer and observed aren't two separate things, then the moment you try to write the equation, you've already destroyed what you were trying to describe. You can't use a knife to show someone what wholeness looks like. The map cannot show you a world without borders. It is borders. So does that mean the answer is just silence? That we give up on describing it? I personally am like, I don't know. The script is saying not quite. But here's what I started thinking about. Contemplative traditions. Zen, Advaita, Vedanta, Krishnamurti. Um, they've been pointing at non-dual states of consciousness for thousands of years, and the consistent thing they say is you can't think your way there. You can't describe it. You can only be it. But here's the interesting part. Neuroscience has started studying advanced meditators in those states, and what they find is measurable. Whole brain gamma wave coherence, not localized activity, unified activity. The brain stops operating in fragments and starts operating as one thing. The state that can't be spoken leaves a physical trace. So what if that's the instrument that we've been missing? Not a better particle detector, not a more elegant equation, but a way to measure the state of the observer directly, to bypass the language layer entirely and let the being of non-duality communicate through waves. The answer to quantum might not be written. It might be measured in the body of the person doing the measuring. Every language has a ceiling. English hits it, math hits it. Every system of representation eventually reaches the edge of what it can hold. And when the thing you're trying to understand lives beyond that edge, you don't need a better language. You need to be willing to go silent. Oneness won't let you represent it with division, not because it's hiding, but because the second you divide it to describe it, it's no longer what you were pointing at. maybe that's not a problem to be solved. Maybe that's the first honest thing that physics has ever had to admit.